Everybody knows what this is. But do you remember this? This is an old vintage rio-riot made by Sonic Blue, which was a company that was formed from Diamond Multimedia. It's around 2001 vintage. This unit came out just about the same time as the original iPod, first generation. But this one featured a 20 gig hard drive, whereas the original iPod only had, I think it was a 1 or a 2 gig. Thing's huge. I've got about, I don't know, a couple thousand songs, I guess, on here. I forget almost how to use this thing. It's the interface on here is so let's just say quirky. Information. What have I got on here? Let's see. I have 233 albums, 3,613 tracks in use, and there's room for about 234 more tracks. I got 1.1 gigabytes of free space. Not that I'll probably be ever able to put anything on there, because even though I do have the connection cable to connect it to my computer, it doesn't support Windows 7, the software. It supports like Windows 98, I think Windows XP as well. Although iTunes might be able to load this. I haven't tried. I don't have iTunes on my machine. But I just figured I'd show you guys my old classic MP3 player. I've had this thing for about 15 years now, and it's never skipped a beat. It's been working perfect since it was new. You can plug standard headphones into it. And unlike some of the complaints for some of the iPods, you'll never ever complain about the bass response on this. The sound quality off of this unit was probably the best of some of the MP3 players I've owned. So that's it. The rio-riot is by a company called Sonic Blue. I haven't used this thing in a while because I couldn't find my battery charger for it. I couldn't find the adapter, so it had been sitting in a drawer discharged for many years. I just recently was going through a box and I found an adapter, and I thought, gee, that plug on there, because it's got an oddball special connector on the bottom here, I thought that plug kind of looks familiar. It kind of looks like the plug for the rio-riot, and it was a 5-volt adapter. And I plugged it in, and the battery charged up, and this thing's been playing for a few hours. A charged battery on this thing will go for about 10 hours, so it's no match for the solid state players that don't have any moving parts. This one's got a hard drive that has to spin up at the beginning of every song. It'll spin up, read the data into memory, and then it plays a track, and then the hard drive spins up again. So every time it loads a track, the hard drive spins up. But it works pretty good. There were some bugs with the software, which was a pain. Every so often the thing would lock up and you had to use a paper clip to reset it. That was one of the problems with this that never really got resolved. There was always the contact the manufacturer. Oh, we've got a firmware update coming. We're going to fix that with the firmware update. And then they went bankrupt. But there it is. Old classic rio-riot for what it's worth.